Hopefully the noise of these bugs outside isn't too bad. It's absolutely beautiful outside, so I'm gonna sit outside. So what do you guys think of the Cutlist plugin for SketchUp? I really don't like it. I get a lot of questions about it. I don't like it, and I don't recommend it, and I'm gonna make a video showing you why here in the near future. Todd Clippinger started a interview series interviewing different woodworkers, and himself included, on how they make a living woodworking, and it's a very interesting series, so I will post a link to that in the description below. I've already mentioned it in the Around the Web post this past Saturday on my website, but I figured it deserves mention again. What do you guys think of forum participation? I've got my own website, so I want to promote my own content, so I really don't go to other websites anymore. Very rarely I'll post on Lumberjacks, like the pipe rack thing. I posted it on Lumberjacks, but I almost feel guilty like I'm not supposed to do that because it's kind of driving traffic to my website, so I don't necessarily post links to the website. I mean, I'll post the video link if someone wants to watch the video, but other than that, I don't really participate in forums anymore. I used to participate in a lot of them, so my question is, what do you guys participate in a lot of forums? I thought about, see my website, I'm bored with the way it looks, and I've got this design change that I'm really looking at doing, and it'll allow a little bit wider content area, which will allow larger images by default. Of course, you can have a light box to where they show you a larger image once you click on the image. But anyway, one of the elements to the new website would be a forum. And I'm wondering, if I had a forum on the website, would anybody participate in it? I'm kind of tossed up in the air on whether or not to include it, but if it's already built in, then you might as well, right? Somebody asked me why I use a lot of screws and glue, like pocket hole screws and glue. And the way I see a pocket hole screw as opposed to like just a regular nail, it's more of a mechanical connection. And the mechanical connection will prevent the glue bond from being jarred or skewed to break the glue bond, right? I mean, I guess that's the way I see it. So if there's a threaded mechanical connection, it's going to make the glue bond last longer, which kind of makes sense if you know the same concept is in play when it comes to dovetails. That's a locking mechanical connection, and that will hold the pieces together longer to prevent the glue bond from failing, right? I guess that's the way I look at it. But that's why I use screws all the time, and very rarely will I use brad nails. What do you guys think of the conduit lumber rack? I'm very happy with the way that turned out. I changed my mind on that project like 6 times before I actually settled on conduit, and I'm glad I did. I saved a ton of money as opposed to using black pipe or galvanized pipe. And, you know, it does the job just fine, so why over-engineer something? I think that's something that a lot of people do lately. Well, not necessarily lately, but myself included. We over-engineer everything, so we're so concerned with durability and longevity and making things last 100 years or never fail ever, when by doing so, we actually overdo the limit of, hey, this is going to be just fine and last you forever, so stop here. We overdo that, and I'm guilty of that myself. But I don't know, conduit, just cheap, stronger than I thought, and worked great. So hopefully some people can find that to be useful. Also, a lot of people said to plug the ends of the conduit by turning plugs or putting tape over it or something, but I ran them through my belt sander and beveled the outside edge so it's not sharp at all. I don't know if that's good enough as what some people were saying, but it works fine. The way I see it, it's in a non-high traffic location, so every time I go over there to use it, I'm going to be consciously making an effort to get something off of it. So hopefully at that time I'm not going to be whacking into an end of it. You know, I'm going to be physically focusing on what I'm doing, pulling lumber off. So I don't know, I don't see it as being necessary. Also, somebody said to slide a larger PVC pipe over the conduit and that would act as a roller. Well, yes, that would act as a roller, but only for the very first piece of lumber you put on it. After that, then that first piece of lumber is going to stay put, and then it's not a roller system anymore. So it would only work for the very first piece of lumber you put on or the very last piece of lumber you take off. So sliding a piece of pipe over for a roller system on a lumber rack is pointless if you ask me. Someone noticed that I drive a little S10. It's a 98 Chevy S10, and it's been a very good truck to me. I've really beat it up with my maintenance job and lost the tailgate, and half of the interior's ripped out, and it's definitely just a work truck only. But how do I haul my sheet goods in it? I've never had any problem hauling sheet goods or long lumber in it. It's a 6-foot bed or 5.5. I forget which one it is. It's not a full 8-foot bed, and I don't have the original tailgate in it. So what I do is I just throw the sheet goods on top of it, and they kind of bend just a little bit, but it doesn't bother me any. The more junk that I have in the truck, it seems like the easier it is to just throw a piece of sheet goods on top of it and then throw a bucket on top of that and then just come home. I don't really ever tie anything down. I live like right down the road from Lowe's, so it's like a 35 to 40 mile per hour trip. So I'm not going fast. I'm not going over any crazy bumps. There's no need to tie anything down. The weight of the plywood alone will haul just fine. But if the truck was empty, there are some indentations that I used to use to put 2x4s across to form a platform. And at that point, I think there's 4 locations for 2x4s to form a platform. But it's inside the tailgate, so it reduces the surface area that the sheet goods can sit on. So it kind of hangs out the backside, and at that time you do need to tie it down, or I do anyway. So the easiest thing is to just keep junk in it and then throw the wood on top. September 9th, I will be on BrainPick, a live Q&A Google Hangout. Be sure to stop by and ask me some questions. Ask me and Bob some questions. I think that's it. I'm about to pack up and go on vacation, see my wife. It's going to be a fun trip. We've got some fun stuff planned over in that area, and we're going to go visit, I think, Busch Gardens. I think that's the one that's over there. And also this Friday night, we're going to do a 5K run in Washington, D.C., which it's going to kill me because I haven't ran in a long time. I'm way out of shape. But I forget the name of the run. I'll post a link to that in the description below. But it's a nighttime run, and everything's going to be lit up as far as like black lights and things glowing and stuff like that. It's going to be pretty cool. I'm super excited to do it because it's at night, and I'm not going to be sweating like a hog out there in the sun. And it's for a good cause, so that's going to be fun. This week's video is not going to be a project video. It's going to be a revisiting past projects video. And I'm going to go through the house and show you everything that I've made, which I've given most of it away, so I don't have that much of it left. But I do have some of the larger items that were a little controversial with my construction methods that, you know, they're going to fail in just a couple months or whatever, and they've all held up just fine. So I'll be... bugs everywhere. I'll be definitely sure to show you everything that's inside. Anyway, thanks for watching, and you guys have a great day.